Coach, today, I thought Ham had that first little interception in there, and he had another one that really wasn't his fault, but he bounced back really well. I think he completed like 9 out of 10. There's 2 long touchdown passes when he really took control today. Can you speak to how Ham kind of rebounded?
Oh, I thought Ham played well. I told our team that there would be some adversity, and certainly there was early. And he just made a bad decision. They ran a blitz on the first one. He went to the wrong guy. Which when you play that position, it's going to happen. The second one wasn't a great throw, but still shouldn't have been a pick. Got tipped up. But I think Hamp's greatest attributes is just his leadership. Pretty even keel guy, and I just was really pleased how he responded. I think we go back and watch the tape. He was pretty solid in a bunch of phases of the game, and obviously he's been a starter before. He's been in a bunch of games, but he'll get better. And I'm certainly excited about that. I've been telling people I think our supporting cast is pretty good around him, and I think that'll continue to help him.
Hey, Coach, it's Josh from the Post and Courier. Just what did it feel like to be out there on the field after just such a long time?
Well, Josh, I told our team afterwards, I said at the end of the day, man, what a blessing to be out there. And God, what a glorious day. I don't know if you could have picked a better day to be out there. And as a football player, you didn't get much better than that. There's probably a little bit of sweating, but not nearly as much as it would have been in the first weekend of September. But it was just great to be back there. The old butterflies come back a little bit, which is, I think, if you don't have that, then something's wrong. But it did feel great, just being back out there, and just really pleased with our preparation and really pleased with how our kids played. I mean, there'll be a lot of things we'll go back that we'll have to get better at, but I just was happy with how our team responded.
What are some of those things that you want to see improvement at?
Well, the first thing came up, we didn't cover. I told them at the half, we didn't kick off very good, and we didn't cover kicks very good. And I thought we responded really well the second half with that. It's the first time we'd covered a kick live. And I don't know who's on that team right now, but if I go back and look, half of them probably it's the first time they've ever run down there in a live situation and done that. So I think that's going to get better. Defensively, it's hard to argue with anything we did. I thought we just, at the end of the day, just do not let them run it, which we didn't. Turn them, make them one-dimensional. And then, offensively, we ran the football, I thought, really well. I think when we go back, there'll be some little bits and pieces. Communication-wise, the last pick was because the guy didn't get a signal and ran the wrong route and probably would have been wide open. So little stuff like that, which is bound to happen, particularly with as many moving parts. And then we got to play a ton of guys, and I think anytime you put that many guys in a football game, they're going to be some things, but that's the only way they learn and grow is to go play. And but it'll be a great tape to go and learn from and see if we can improve upon some things next week.
Coach, you had one penalty, I think, on the extra point, and
and I took it. That's a good point there. That was something we needed to, we line up in a little different formation, then we shift, and we just got to have a little more urgency. I think probably got to get off the field a little quicker after a touchdown, and we got to get that group out there a little bit quicker. And, but I thought, probably other than that, we didn't punt till at the end, and I really was going to go, and I said, well, let's punt once and give Tim a chance to do that. And obviously, wow. You go a whole year and don't get to do that sometimes. Obviously we're a team's going to go for it on fourth down some. We just got that much confidence in what we do. But we're able to do that. And again, be a lot of little things we can look at and get better. And, you always say, hopefully the biggest improvements from week 1 to week 2, and that'll be our goal.
Coach, can you talk about the defense? Just there's not really much to say bad about what they did today. I think you could say they spread the tackle chart out a lot. I don't think a guy had more than 4 stops on the day. So just talk about how you were getting to the football and really flying around out there.
Well, I've seen that happen all fall. I mean, I guess fall, all winter, I guess, here. they've been a tough bunch to go against, and you can ask our offense. They've been punched in the mouth plenty of times by them out there at practice, and it's been really, really competitive. Certainly, I think they actually make each side of the ball better. I do this. I think we got a lot of guys that can run well. We got some size. I think we can rush the passer. We can cover. But I think our greatest thing is probably just the team football we play over there and team defense. And I think that's the biggest thing that stands out. And I really thought, we throw the pick, and golly, I think it was Wayne Anderson runs the guy down, from way back. And I remember telling him, hey guys, we practice this. You're in a bad spot. Let's go force a kick, and I think we got it to 3rd and 8 and maybe missed a tackle. We missed a tackle to let the guy scramble for the touchdown. But other than that, boy, it's kind of hard to say. Certainly our guys know we'll be challenged in a different way going forward. But I do think we have a chance to continue to get better. We have some good depth over there, and obviously got to play a bunch of guys.
Coach, on the 2 touchdown passes, those guys, well, the one especially Peterson got wide open. It seemed like you kind of lulled them into a sense, maybe with some, kind of nickel and dime them, then hit them with the big pass and got guys to open.
Well, I think our defense will tell you just from playing against our offense, and at the end of the day, that's who we are. We're a run the football, play action football team. And if you can run the ball, you're going to have a chance to hit some play action passes. And, I thought we did a really good job protecting. I think we gave up the one they brought a guy off the front edge. And, you'd maybe hope Hamp would see that guy. That's the one guy that's not counted for there. I think we're going to get a chance to do that. I know there are a couple times they really grabbed us. I thought we should have gotten a couple of calls when they just grabbed guys that were going to be open, and had the one drop. I guess we dropped the one boot earlier, but then we hit the 3rd down touchdown. Maybe Wayne caught it. Zach Peterson's another one of those guys. He's been in our program, and he's worked like crazy. He runs really well. He's just changed. He's a physical guy. He's really good in the weight room body-wise, but he's a big enough body that he can do that. And he did some really good things out there. And certainly we ask a lot of those guys, but I think that's who we are. We try to be balanced, and balanced to us is not 50-50, but we certainly want to be good in both areas.
Just one last question. You got to get some young guys in there in the second half. Could you talk about just the way Kendall Thomas really ran and caught the ball in the second half? He appears to, have the type speed that will equate to big plays later on this season.
Well, we made the comment the other day in a meeting. He just kind of seems to be getting better each week. Which he should. He's been into it now. But still a freshman. But he likes the physicality part. He's bright. He certainly has a burst. He's made some big plays at practice. I think he's a great example of it. A guy like Chase Abshire has just been such a dependable guy for us in so many ways. It's good to see him get in there. I saw Will Hallmark get in there, and then obviously we know those other guys, what they're capable of. And no, it's good to get those guys in there. I think anytime we can do that, those little guys will practice better this coming week. They got a little more of a hop in their step, and it's nice when you can get that many people in a football game.
Hey, Devin, just wanted to ask you about the offense. Had a little bit of a rough spot there, falling behind after the interception, but you really bounced back in a big way. Seemed like the running balance you showed opened up some big pass plays later on. Can you just talk about the offensive performance?
Yeah. When we had that first turnover, it was we always harp on about going through adversity and battling back and coming back and just overcoming it, and that's exactly what we did. We came out and we played great. After that, we rarely had any other negative play, but it was just good because Hamp being back there, I know, a lot of people say he's young, but we ride on his back a lot. Like he knows he can count on us just as much as we can count on him. And it was just good for us to keep uplifting him just so he didn't get discouraged or anything.
Could you just talk about, the running game is so diverse, and you bring a lot of different things to the table as different running backs within this offense. Just talk about from a defense, seeing it from their perspective. What do you think it's like to try and play against you guys?
Um, I know our defense tells us all the time it's so hard going against it because we have so many guys that can bring so many things to the table. You know, you have speed here, you got power, you got balance, people that can go out in open space and make people miss, and just catch those uncatchable balls that you just think can nobody get to. But it's great to have a room so deep where you could just throw anybody in there and get a lot of production out of them. And that's make it just it's great that we're so deep. And yeah, that's just a great thing to have on the team, that you got a great stable. That's what we call ourselves. So we just keep grinding away and keep showing everybody why we have the best running back group in the SoCon.
Can you speak some about the job the offensive line did for you guys, and Reed and Jordan in particular, a couple of seniors, the way they played?
Oh yeah, I tell them every day, like, this offense won't get moving without them. We're very thankful for them. They are very much a much needed part in this offense. And every time we come off the field, we go down there and talk to them. Keep encouraging. Just tell them that that we love them and stuff. So it's more of a culture thing that we've built together, and we play off of positivity. No matter how negative it get, we always stay up. And those guys, the seniors, Reed, Jabo, they wanna do it for us, and that's what that's what makes it so much better, because we all do it for each other, and it's not just all the credit to one group. We do this as a team, and those guys are a big part of this team.
Last question that I have for you. Can you just talk about just being back out there, what it's like, and what the reward of kind of working while you're waiting has been for you?
Oh man, like they said, been 400 plus days. Going into my senior year, it was crazy not thinking like that I would have a season in the fall, but just the work we put in, the grind, and just the culture that we've built is finally great to see it all pay off, because we know how hard each other work, and we know that we could do something very special if we all just continue to work hard and grind for each other, and just stick together. But to finally see it paying off is so amazing, because I just see happy faces everywhere around here, and it's a blessing to see, and it just fills everybody up with so much joy. And that's all. Thank y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, Jalen. I know you made your first start on defense today, and what was it like? It's been a long time coming, obviously, with last season postponed, and I know you played a lot of special teams, especially as a freshman. What was it like to make your first start today?
Honestly, it wasn't too bad, just because of how long we've been going at it against each other in the fall and now in the spring, like leading up to the season. I looked at it like I was like, we're about to go out there and scrimmage the offense. It's just finally it's somebody that we can tackle to the ground, and we're not good friends with. So it wasn't too bad, but it was definitely a great experience, and hopefully continue to be out there with my boys every Saturday.
Just talk about the way you guys, really, I thought swarmed to the ball today as a defense. There wasn't one guy really ever left on an island to make a play by himself. Just talk about that mentality that you guys had coming into this game.
Yeah, that's been a big emphasis for our defense since last season. Honestly, just everybody get to the ball. We have like a gang mentality. So like as soon as the ball is thrown, like DL backside corners, like everybody get to the ball. Everybody get in on the play, and I feel like we really showed that today, and we executed that well.
Um, I'll ask another question. I guess you never know what's going to happen in a game, but to have your back against the wall early on in that game, and then they score, but then you came back and responded from that the rest of the way and really allowed next to nothing, only 5 first downs. Just talk about that in your response.
I think that starting off like that was actually kind of good for our defense, just because we do have a lot of new starters out there, and just getting put in an adverse situation like right off the bat just really showed like what our defense was made of. And obviously, yes, we held them to a 3rd and 8, and they got in, but we came to the sideline. Nobody was worried about it. We were all like, hey. We just, we popped the pads against somebody else for the first time. Now let's do what we do, and I feel like we did that the whole game, and that showed like you said, with only 5 first downs, that's something to be proud about as a defense. So, yes, sir. That was great. All good? Thank y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, day one. I want to take you to a play made. I think the game was still kind of in doubt, and you made a pretty nice play. They threw a fade that you looked like you might have wanted to try to tip, and then you just turned around and nailed the guy instead, and not the ball flick. Can you kind of take me through that play?
Well, I had to reroute number two receiver in the slot first, and when I turned back around to look at the quarterback, I seen the ball was already out. So my judgment, I wanted to go get an interception, but I don't think I could have made that play. But so I just turned around and ran straight to the dude that the ball was going to, and I just made a heck of a play.
There was some unknown today, with first game and new opponent. I don't think their quarterback was all settled. They had different guys that could start. What was the key for you guys to come out and dominate defensively like you did?
Well, the first thing our defense always preaches is getting people one-dimensional. Regardless of who's playing quarterback or who's where on offense for opposing teams, we always want to stop the run first and then get teams one-dimensional, and that can open up a lot of play calls for us to have a lot of sacks or pass breakups and et cetera.
What did it mean to you guys just to be back on the field and back playing, and what was it like going through a game day again?
It meant a lot to us because of all the preparation that went into it. I mean, it's been over 400 plus days. Basically we went through 3 camps. I mean, something that's nobody ever done before. Like, this game meant a lot to us. Just to even be able to prepare for a game meant to a lot of us. Meant a lot to us because, obviously we want to play when we're supposed to in the fall, and we didn't get that opportunity. So now, we're aware, like, we can't take anything for granted. We got to make sure each and every play, whether we're in one play or whether, we might not be able to play next week. Just don't take anything for granted, because we don't know if we're going to get this another opportunity, next week or even 3 weeks from now.
With that in mind, was there at any point during the game where you flashed back to just all the practice you've come through the last year at least?
For sure. I mean, just all the commitment, the long workouts that we have in the summer conditioning, it's been over a year and a half, and it just seems like all we do is condition and work out. And I mean, it's fun sometimes, but we all know on Saturdays, that's where all the fun comes with our preparation and what we do to get to that point. So, yeah, I mean, during the game for me, especially just even before the game, before I went out there on the field, the only thing I'm going to play for is for my boys, for one, but also just how much time I put in and invested with the coaches and players and just everyone on the staff, on the Furman football staff.
So that was like you said that to yourself, like when you were in the locker room before the game.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like that's the first thing I thought of. Like just make sure each and every play that I'm out there take nothing for granted, just because of what I've done and what I've done with my boys and the coaches just to get to this point. I mean, it just honestly it sucked that everything that we've been through the last year and a half. Not just us, but any team in the country that's trying to just get an opportunity to play right now. All right.
Hey, Ham, congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
You've had such an interesting everybody's had an interesting off season, but you were elected captain, so long ago as a sophomore. What did it mean to you to kind of come out here and have the performance you did? You had the interception early on. I thought you bounced back in a big way after that. And just as your first game as a season starter, as a captain, what were your emotions today?
Yeah, it was first of all, becoming a captain was a huge honor to me. It was being named captain by my teammates is one of the greatest honors I've ever had, because it means my teammates believe in me and my teammates trust in me. And so, first of all, I was really excited about that for this season. And then we definitely had a little bit of rust that we got knocked off in that first quarter. We hadn't played for so long, and we've been practicing against each other time and time again, and we were so ready to go play another opponent. But early on, we had a few bumps, and I'm really proud of how our offense bounced back from that. And in the past, we might have not have been as great in those situations where we have some adversity early on, and today we were. So I was really proud of how our team handled that adversity, and it was exciting to get back on the field again. It was exciting to play a different team finally. So it was a fun day.
With the offensive line, what did you think of the way those guys played today? And then Reed and Jordan in particular, being seniors, just what do they mean to the offense?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line did a phenomenal job today. And our offensive line, I mean, they really dominated up front. Specifically, Reed and Jabo, those are two of my best friends. And I'm so incredibly grateful for those guys. All the offensive line, they don't get any credit. And they deserve all the credit in the world because of how hard they work, the little recognition they get, but I mean, they're integral in every single play. And they were pushing the defensive line around all day today. When we got under center in that second drive, we just started running it up the middle on them, and they couldn't stop it. And a lot of that is because of those offensive linemen. And then when it comes to Reed and Jabo, I mean, the sacrifices they've made for our team is unbelievable. They came back for a fifth year. Jabo individually, he got hurt a year ago today. He was injured a year ago on this day. And so for him, it was incredible to watch him a year after his injury, rehabbing, working extremely hard. He was able to start today, and he was able to come back, and he had a good day out there. And then Reed, like I was saying, I mean, both those guys, he got accepted into a Vandy Mac program a year ago, and he delayed that an entire year so that he could play with us this spring. So the sacrifice those two guys have made for our team is unbelievable.
Tell me about Zach Peterson's day today. He played a good bit last year, but just in the style of your offense, he didn't have a lot of catches. I think he had one catch last year. For him to come out and have the kind of performance he did today, what you guys have pretty good chemistry?
Yes, sir. Zach was my roommate my first 2 years, and so it was just a matter of time. But no, Zach's one of those guys. Everyone knew it was coming eventually. He's an extremely hard worker in the weight room. He does everything right. He's always where he needs to be. He always does the right thing. He's always assignment sound, and he's a playmaker too, as people were able to see today. And maybe fans were able to see that for the first time today. But that's something we've seen for the past 3 years. So it was awesome for him, especially on that the touchdown, and then on that one slow screen that we had to the left. He made somebody miss and got about 15 extra yards. So it's been fun to watch. It was fun to watch him ball out today.